League. Trinbago Futsal League is having their corporate cup, getting ready for 12 teams to go head-to-head in Trinbago's fastest game on the court. The dates are on your screen at the 19th, 21st, 28th and 29th of June, and it's definitely going to be completely memorable, to say the least. Again, joining us in studio is Joel Bailey, League Commissioner, and Geoffrey Edwards, the President of the Futsal Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Looking forward to seeing some of the teams who are participating in this. As we were just shared with, it was 5 versus 5. So we have Group A and we have Group B. I'll tell you what, let's bring you into the conversation, Joel.
Sure.
Well, again, good morning and welcome. You seemed quite passionate when you heard, yes, what is futsal? What's the feeling like on the ground when it comes to people in futsal?
I think, unfortunately, not enough people know about futsal, right? But the people who know are very passionate about it. One thing I wanted to add with respect to what futsal is, because people are going to be listening and they're going to say, oh, small goal.
Yes.
That is small goal. But it's not.
Yeah.
It's, I believe the goal is 2 by 3 meters.
Yes.
So it's a large goal. So that's why you would have scores like 9, 8, and, you know, that sort of thing. But what I see it as he said, it's a sort of faster paced, shorter version of football, and it gives you that opportunity to really showcase your dribbling skills.
Well, I see that there with the skill speed futsal.
Yes,
that tagline definitely denotes what's going to be happening. So as we mentioned, it's happening in June. Now, let's talk about the Corporate Cup, who's involved, and how it even began.
The Trinbago Futsal League started as the Corporate Cup last year, where we did the pilot project featuring 8 teams from 4 different sectors, the financial, energy, manufacturing, as well as government agencies. And from that, we did the feedback, and what came out of it was that they wanted to be able to extend it into a league, for which we are doing at the present moment. But we have to be able to understand why we're doing it, because we want to be able to transform and create this into a movement whereby corporate entities throughout Trinidad and Tobago, as the study has shown. I want to read one. The 2022 Caribbean Public Health Agency study showed that only 27% of employees meet the recommended weekly physical activity in Trinidad and Tobago, which means that you're talking about stress levels being high, etc., etc. So we see this as a movement that could be able to assist and address that in a very, very fast-paced but very cooperative as well as fun-filled atmosphere. Family-friendly as well.
So is it a case of these organizations were approached, or they willingly volunteer?
They willingly volunteer. As a matter of fact, we still have a waiting list.
Oh.
We started with 12, right?
Okay.
And our intention is to be able to increase that by 25% within the next year, and also increase it from a 4-day league to at least a 1-month league. And
given what would have happened last year, have you started to see that growth coming out?
That is definitely, most definitely, and that's why we have Joel Bailey as our league commissioner to be able to assist us, someone who's experienced, especially from the entertainment industry, to be able to merge between sport and entertainment and be able to grow this organically with us.
Joel, how do you see that marriage going so far between sports and entertainment with futsal?
I think sports and entertainment, they're already married. That's how it works. You know, we have football later. Half the people going, they really just go into Lime. And as you said before, you know, we see it as a similar to 2020. And if you know, 2020 is a vibe. You go there, you're watching the cricket, yes, but it's a vibe. You see Lime and you see drinking and whatnot. And we wanted to bring that element to the league, because what we wanted to be is a day where you could bring your family and have a good time. Right, so it's not just, of course, it's primarily futsal, primarily football, but it's really a day of entertainment and fun.
Can you just perhaps walk us through what one of the days would be like? Because I know there are different days at different areas, different venues, yeah? Okay,
so generally what we'll have is, we basically have about, I think, 12 games per day, right? So it was broken up into 2 groups, Group A and Group B. Group A will have most of their games on one day. Group B will have most of their games on a second day, and the third day will have a mixed day of both teams, right? They'll all be playing 5 different games over the 3 days. The final day is where we'll have our semis, our quarters, and our finals, exhibition games and whatnot. So when you come here, it's going to be very packed, because as I said, with so many games during the day, we're going to have games running from 9 o'clock straight to 6 o'clock, right? And short breaks in between, and then every break, we're going to involve the crowd, have different games, you know, the halftime, the half-court shot, and these sort of things. We just want to make sure that when people come, they could spend the entire day and have a good day.
Okay, excellent. It sounds like it's going to be a great time already. Geoffrey, what about the investment when it comes to corporate Trinidad and Tobago? How is that looking?
It has been a labor of love, I should say, from the Futsal Association of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is because we see it as there's a lot of capital investment for us in terms of building this brand. And we expect that within the next year that the corporate Trinbago will be able to follow us with it. Noting that this is an open house for corporate Trinbago to see the sport of futsal as well as the brand Futsal 868. We expect that when they come to the open house, they'll be able to say, yes, you know, we actually love this and we want to be a part of it in terms of our investment through our youth academies, our Let's Play Futsal Caravan, where we go into primary schools, secondary schools, and communities throughout Trinidad and Tobago to be able to teach the sport of futsal and introduce the sport of futsal in our hopes to be able to create the first true generation of futsal players so that we could be able to have Trinidad and Tobago represented at the next World Cup in 2028.
Excellent. Now, next question, of course, as we speak about the Futsal League and specifically the Corporate Cup, is this open to both genders?
Yes. That is one of our key pillars, absolutely. In terms of social inclusion as well as gender inclusion, we are very big in terms of the Futsal Association to ensure that there are females. There are 3 for the 20 registered participants. 3 must be females and 1 have to be female, has to be playing at all times. We must take the opportunity to know that the Futsal Association of Trinidad and Tobago has really and truly pushed when it comes to our movement for females, where we look at violence against women and girls, and we always support that throughout the entire year. So female inclusion is very important to us. I'm very happy that you asked that question.
So from what I'm hearing as well, there definitely is that social part
yes.
of futsal.
Yes.
How have you seen the community grow over the past year, and are there any particular initiatives in addition to that you would have mentioned?
Yeah, definitely. So one of the exhibition matches we're going to have is called Orange the Game. So even though the 16 days of activism in terms of gender-based violence is in December, November to December, we thought it fitting to continue to have that movement throughout the year. So one of the exhibition games will be Gender the Game, Orange the Game, my apologies, and we have Miss Karen Forbes, who is the Trinidad and Tobago National Women's Football captain, as well as Victoria Swift, who will be leading 2 teams of celebrities for that exhibition game to be able to continue the trust in terms of what it is we speak to and the ideologies we hold.
Wonderful. Now, Joel, something that you would have mentioned also is this is a family-friendly event.
Yeah.
And what can we also, let's say, what's included for the children particularly? Is there anything else we can look forward to, or are we just coming to have a good family time?
You're coming to have a good family time, of course, yes, but we're going to have some short activities for the younger ones, basically to introduce them to the sport itself, because once again, they're going to be like, oh, we're going to watch football.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, you're going to watch football, but a different variation. So we may have some areas set up so that we could do some activities with them.
You know, everybody has a love for a sport in some form or fashion, and there's a favorite thing that they have about it. For you, what's your favorite thing about futsal?
Getting to see an individual's skill. Yeah, because, you get caught in a corner.
Yeah.
You got to get out of it. And remember, this ball doesn't have that much bounce.
Yeah.
So it's really your skill with maneuvering between persons as well.
Well, speaking about skill, I know that Joffrey's been dying to do this.
I'm here. I'm ready. And what we want to do with Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time is to be able to show them one difference between football and futsal.
Okay.
Just one difference. And simple as this.
Okay,
a football bounces. A futsal ball has limited bounce.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I hope that the cameraman can be able to follow me in terms of this.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is truly limited bounce. So one demonstration.
Oh.
That's it. That's one of the things that we want to be able to... they call it the truth ball. Yes? Yes. And if it is, the Messis and the Ronaldos, right, they grew up playing futsal. And that's a fact, right? It is called the truth ball.
Can I?
Yes, of course. And the thing about it is that when it is we go into secondary schools and we play and we teach them futsal, a lot of the principals ask us, is it going to damage the furniture? Is it going to damage the glass? No, it's not. It's not.
No, it's fine. All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hoping that we have you back again soon and looking forward to some highlights from the corporate
Yes,
club.
for sure.
Yeah. This is the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned. If you want more information about the Trinbago Futsal League, you can give them a call at 460-7567 or 471-0004. There's another number there, so we'll clarify it in next hour. 0004.
I'm on the way.